I'm showing you 3 common areas to stretch if you suffer from low back pain. I'm Aaron Robinette, and this is my trainer's insight. The first area to stretch is the quads. In our daily life, we tend to sit way too much, and one of the muscles that gets tight as a result are the quads. Tight quads pull your pelvis forward, and this stresses your low back. This next stretch is going to be a quad stretch with the Swiss ball. You're going to put your foot on the ball, keeping both knees bent initially, and you're going to set the knee down that the foot is on the ball. From this position, you're going to take your leg out in front, so your foot's on the ground here. If you're really tight, and depending on the size of the ball, the bigger ball, it's going to be more of a stretch. This may be enough of a stretch, so you may be down here and really feeling it in the quad. Ideally, what you want to do though is get your hands up on your knee, lift all the way up, and to a point where if this is not a deep enough stretch, press your hips forward. An alternative to the Swiss ball quad stretch is a prone quad stretch. In this particular case, you're simply going to lay on the ground this way, face down, and bring your leg up here and pull into the stretch. The second area to stretch, and this is closely connected to the quads, are the hip flexors. Often, if your quads are tight, your hip flexors are tight as well. If you have tight hip flexors, your lower abdominals are put at a disadvantage to stabilize your pelvis. This is due to the lower abdominals being pulled tight, and the muscle in this position is mechanically weaker. The stretch for the hip flexors is going to be a lunge stretch. And what you do here is you want the knee down on the ground. You want your other leg out in front. The knee that's on the ground, you want to actually raise that arm up, and you want to grab that wrist with your opposite hand. And what you'll do is you'll end up pressing your hips slightly forward, leaning your upper body back and away from the knee that's in contact with the ground. There are often many other areas I suggest for people to stretch after I've assessed them, since my process allows me to see exactly where a person is tight and where the person is weak. But for this video, the final stretch is the chest. And the reason why I suggest the chest stretch for the lower back pain is when your upper body is pulled forward, your lower body will tend to shift forward to match the upper body. This is the body's way of maintaining some sort of balance. The first stretch for the chest I'm going to show you is a doorway chest stretch. Find a doorway or solid object you can place your arm on. You want your arm in an L position. Your upper arm you want parallel to the ground. From this position right here, you're simply going to rotate your body, making sure your head stays neutral. There is a tendency to turn the head, and I find this actually reduces the effectiveness of the stretch. So again, position, rotate your body, open up that chest. Make sure to stretch both sides. Another chest stretch that I really like to have clients do is a pec minor chest stretch. So the doorway chest stretch is stretching the pec major. This one is actually going to stretch the pec minor in this case. So you need a Swiss ball. You're going to lay your arm over the Swiss ball. Make sure your shoulder is in contact with the ball. And you want your chest out of contact with the ball. And from here, you're going to press your shoulder into the ball. Arm positioning can be really tricky with this one. So if you really don't feel this, and you're going to feel this like right in this area, if you don't feel it there, simply move your arm a little bit, either up this way or down this way, or move where the ball is. I see a tendency that people will be this way with the ball and be really exposed. So you really want your shoulder in the middle of the ball. So find that right position for you, press it, and hold. The parameters for the stretching is ideally for each body part, you want to do 2 to 3 times between 20 to 30 seconds. And if you want to stretch for longer, you can always stretch for longer, or you can stretch for 45 seconds, a minute, even 2 minutes is absolutely fine, but at least 20 to 30 seconds. Let me know in the comments below how well this information works for you. Also, let me know if there are any tips or information you want me to cover in one of these videos. And for more tips, information, Or if you want to find out more about personal training, go to my website, aaronrobinette.com.